Hello, this is Prophet AmbiLow, and I wanted to come on here really quickly because I just got revelation, and now maybe others have gotten this revelation, but I'm just getting the revelation. Um, so I'm just here to explain to other people the full armor of God. Maybe you are fighting wrong and you're like, Lord, I'm putting on the full armor and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And so I'm going to read Ephesians 6 about the full armor. I'm just going to read that just so you know what I am referring to. It says, and I'm going to start in verse 11. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. And I'm going to stop right there. Now, everybody knows this passage. Everybody knows, oh yes, have faith, peace, belt of truth, sword, have the sword. But God was like, yes, you have all the armor, but you're not fighting right. A lot of you, including me, I'm going to include myself because this revelation came because of me, and I know I'm not the only one, but a lot of us, we've been fighting wrong. We have our shield of faith. I'm just going to use this as an example because that's what God showed me. He says, you have your shield of faith. I made you strong in the faith, but you're not using your faith as it's intended. Your faith is a shield, but you have your shield behind you. And then you're just using your sword and you're just trying to fight, but you're not using your shield. Come on, somebody. Catch this. Catch it because it just kind of hit me. Your shield. I don't have like a piece of paper or anything, but your shield you're going to have on your arm, right? Then you have your sword in one hand, and then you have all the other armor. Faith needs to be guarding you, okay? Faith needs to be guarding you. Honestly, I'm gonna have faith in my left hand, okay? This is gonna be my left hand, okay? And then the sword in my right hand, because that's my strong arm, you know what I'm saying? So faith, you need to be guarding yourself as you're coming against the enemy and his arrows, right? So when the arrows come, when the fiery arrows come, it says, so you can extinguish all the arrows, faith needs to come first. But some of us, I'm gonna just include us, just say us, some of us have been having our shield behind us, right? We have our shield behind us, we have our faith behind us, and we're like, faith is what's keeping me strong. Faith, but that's not how it's supposed to be. And then so we have our sword, we have our belt on, right? We have our belt, we have the helmet of salvation. That's knowing you are saved, okay? The helmet of salvation, that's knowing you are saved. God is with you. God is going to be with you. I'm excited because I just got this revelation. But yes, you have your helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, and then it says the belt of the truth. So you have all these things. You have it all. The breastplate of righteousness, but you're not using the shield and sword right. It's the shield sword combo that we're not getting right. And I'm just going to say we because that's including me and whoever else this is for. So I pray that God, like it highlights to you. Faith should come first. Like when God gives you a word, whenever somebody starts, I don't want to say somebody, but whenever the enemy is using somebody and speaking evil, or it could just be the enemy speaking thoughts in your head, your shield should come first. Your faith in God should come first. You should say, that ain't it. But a lot of us, instead of like blocking it, they kind of like hit us. And then we're trying to fight with the sword only with our shield behind our backs. Does that make sense? Like with our faith behind our backs. And we're thinking, okay, well, even if you destroy me, I at least can hold on to my faith. Like, I hope somebody's catching this. I hope somebody's getting this. Like you have it behind your back, and then you're like, well, even if you're saying all these things, even if you're doing all this to me, it's like the only thing you have is you're just trying to hold on to your faith, but not realizing that faith is what is going to protect you. Like, does that make sense? Like, shield yourself with the faith. Like, nope, that's not what God said. And then you use your sword with the word of God. I hope you can hear me over me covering my mouth. But then you use your sword with the word of God. That's the word of God. But a lot of us are having our faith behind us, and then it'll kind of hit us. Like whatever the darts, they'll hit us, and then we'll be like, ooh, that kind of hurt. And then we're just trying to use our sword and cut, chop, chop. But that's how we keep getting cut up. That's how we keep getting cut up by the devil. And he's winning. He's winning because, yes, we have our breastplate of righteousness and we have our belt on, but we're exposed in the parts that aren't covered, like our stomachs and stuff. He is just going right in, and we're not protected. And then so we trying to do all of this and like do all of that and dodge. But it's not work, and we're wearing ourselves out instead of using the shield. I hope I'm making sense. Like, we're trying to dodge, and the enemy's he's just laughing at us because we're not using our shield properly. Like, we're not blocking the attacks. We're just letting the attacks hit us. And then we're using our sword and like coming after the devil. But we're getting exhausted by trying to dodge when we could just stand firm, use our shield, and go on from there. We don't even have to dodge then. You know what I'm saying? It's like that two-piece combo. Shield, sword. Shield, sword. And that's what God highlighted to me. That you have everything you need. You literally have everything. The breastplate of righteousness. That's the breastplate of Jesus Christ. He made us righteous. Like, he said, you have everything you need. So I'm planting you here to fight. To show you that you can do it. But I'm telling you, it's that shield sword combo, that block attack combo that we gotta get right. I hope this made sense to somebody. I do. I also wanted to add the belt of truth. The belt of truth literally holds your sword, right? So you can't grab your sword if it's not in truth. So he's saying, look, you got the truth, you got all of that. You know all of that in your heart, okay? You got truth. Grab my sword from there, because a lot of people, they trying to grab swords, but it's not based in truth. So really, like, it's like the flimsy sword, you know what I'm saying? Like the busted up one, like that's not gonna work. But when you have a real sword from the belt of truth, that's how you fight them. I do hope this makes sense to somebody, but that's what I wanted to say. I love you. All the information is in the description below. Mentoring, coaching sessions, my book, everything is down below. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.